Welcome back, Masters. I hope you had a wonderful meditation. So, as we started with the book Fakir in the last two sessions, last time we had discussed. So, before that, this book it is all about the conversation that goes between Sai Baba and a person named Rudra. So Rudra keeps asking about like questions about different topics, and Baba explains them so beautifully with live examples or sometimes astral travel. All these things will keep on going. So in the last sessions we had discussed about judgment, like what Baba, just in two lines, like Baba was telling to Rudra, like no matter like how much wrong a person or an individual is, the moment we start judging that person, we have started an karmic account. So we need to be so much aware, like what our thoughts are or what our actions are. And other important point what Baba was telling is every individual has free will. So it is up to us, it is in our hands, like how we are using that free will. So whether we use the free will for opening an karmic account or we use it to close the karmic account. So it is entirely dependent upon us. So these two things we had discussed about judgment and free will. So today, wisdom part, it is about the same topic. What is wisdom? So Baba and Rudra, they were sitting like in a cottage, and the discussion had begun with the question, "What is wisdom?" So for that, Baba answers in a beautiful way. It is a bit lengthy, masters. So let's start with it. And Baba calls Rudra as beta. So in the conversation, we come to know sometimes like he calls like beta and all. Okay, the first let me start with the answer. Wisdom, it is the choice one makes to embrace a particular situation, and complete wisdom is a choice one makes to embrace each moment. Not knowledge or intellect, but wisdom is what is going to decide how an individual is going to meet each moment and how each moment is going to be treated. The individual who is aware of each moment is going to embrace that moment with a particular maturity and grace. The one who is lost to thoughts and emotions and uncertainties is going to meet that moment unprepared. The less prepared you are to welcome each moment, more often than not, you are going to come from indecisiveness and reaction. The more aware you are, the greater the wisdom with which you shall embrace each moment. When I say you are aware or you come from a place of awareness, it means that you are present in each moment. You are not lost to the moment. You are not lost to your thoughts or preoccupied, but you are observed with each moment. So Baba is telling, living in the moment means we are in the present moment. The time you are observed with each moment, you shall rarely come from reaction, but from a place of calmness. You are no longer a headless chicken. You know exactly what is going on and what is expected of you and what is the best that you can give. Your best may not be enough for the situation or the moment, but remember, it is your best, and coming from your best, you cannot do any better. And thus, you have given your best to each moment, and nobody in heaven can ask more from you. Wisdom is not about knowledge or information. Wisdom is when one gives one's best with perfect grace and calmness, and knowing when something is beyond you, admitting it and seeking guidance for the same. Wisdom is not about knowing everything. It is just about giving your best to each moment in the calmest manner, coming from a place of compassion without ego. I would like to repeat this. Wisdom is not about knowing everything. It is just about giving your best to each moment in the calmest manner, coming from a place of compassion without ego. The body may thirst for wine, but one may truly only need water. The wise knows the difference between their wants and their needs. The wise knows the difference between their strength and their weakness and limitations. They know when something is doable, when one needs assistance to go through some work. The wise also know that every moment has its own demands and needs. Sometimes, what a piece of chocolate can do for the state of mind and well being, the scriptures cannot do. The wise have their fingers on the pulse of the moment. It is a spiritual common sense. You don't need to be well versed with the scriptures, but you need to be completely in the moment to understand what is needed and what is not. Remember, a wise person knows how much to bite and how much can be chewed. Oscillation in our spiritual pursuits very often comes about when we operate from overt eagerness. This comes about as a reactive state and not as a calm, proactive state. The wise never come from a reactive state, beta. They know there is no sense in rushing into something. They know there is no sense in trying to hasten a process. Everything, when done calmly, usually gets completed. When we rush into something, we usually land up tripping over our own selves. The wise knows about this. They are not trying to compete with anybody. They know that a wrong doesn't become right by raising one's voice or by being aggressive. In fact, right becomes wrong if expressed to hurt or wound somebody. Sometimes you can be completely right, but the way you have gone about trying to prove yourself or the way you have gone about expressing yourself can make you absolutely wrong. Usually, when we are right, a certain level of ego enters our attitude and speech and tone. That makes us wrong then. So, we are right, but the way we have gone about it has made us wrong. The wise will admit to their mistakes calmly and humbly, and thus, though they may be wrong, the way they have gone about accepting their mistake eventually might make them right about the way the entire process was handled. So, this is the wisdom part about the topic, like what exactly is wisdom. So, we think like wisdom is getting to know about more information, reading lot of scriptures, listening to a lot of knowledge and all. But actual thing is wisdom, it's not related to anything about scriptures or anything. How we are reacting every moment by moment, whether it is in a reactive mode or with calmness we are handling this that situation. So that's one important point. And other thing, what Baba is telling is, like the difference between a wise person and the normal people, like how they handle each situation. And the great lesson that I learned today was like how we handle the situation, even though we feel we are right, but the way we say, the tone, what we are, how we are speaking, so that makes the situation, that makes us go wrong. So, but if we are wrong in some situation and if we are admitting it, admitting that mistake calmly, so that means we are handling that, even though we are wrong, we are handling that situation in a very good way. So these were the few things to summarize, masters. What a beautiful wisdom part today. And Baba is telling in such a such a complicated topic in so detail and basic level. He has brought the topic to understand. So I'm really thankful to Baba and the author of this book for letting me know about so much about like it could be about free will, karma, judgment, or about today's topic, wisdom. Okay, thank you, masters. And if you would like to share your thoughts or any experience, please unmute. Yeah, Ram Garu.
Thanks a lot, Sailaja Garu. Very beautiful meditation to start with. And this book is one of my favorite books. I read it, I think, 6, 7 years ago. And I fell in love with it. Until then, I knew, reading about, listening about Shirdi Sai Baba. As he says, I answer even though I'm not physically present. I do answer to everyone who asks the questions directly. So all all the way how the world perceives him, all the way how the world reaches him, versus to the wisdom, information, love that he shares through the messages in this book are so beautiful. We can truly understand such great masters when we connect to such wisdoms. And today as well, how beautifully he speaks about, shares about wisdom. Indeed, another recent book which I came across, Babaji, was Sri M's book, where in the recent times he is taken by his master to Shirdi, and where he meets him physically there. And it's also a beautiful episode, and narration of what had happened there. So, and then today's part, speaking about wisdom, a very great word which I have heard commonly is common sense. How is common sense applied? And that is basically the element of wisdom, how our common sense work. And everything what you shared today had to be listened, contemplated, integrated in our lives. There is no end to how much wise one can become. There is no end. There is no starting point. There is no end point. There is no competition. There is only reflection, and there is only a constant integration. The wiser and the wiser and the wiser. It's all about awareness in moment to moment, and I mean, using this common sense. So thanks a lot. I even liked the part when you started, you kind of shared the gist about judgments. So it's very beautiful. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, like when we hear about Baba, I always was thinking about Sai Satcharitra. Apart from that, I had never seen such books or anything. But this Fakir, it's a series of three or I think four books. It's a completely, I mean, in a different angle, completely like what exactly spiritually, like how a person should be, how we should change our thoughts. So beautifully, it's completely different from Sai Satcharitra. So I like this book. And thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, Ram. Yeah, Mamta ji, please unmute.
Namaste, Shailaji.
Namaste.
Yes, yeah, really, wisdom is so profound always. Every moment we need the spiritual wisdom, always we need it. Because I feel that it's so necessary, and it must be, because then only the human can enlighten. So it's very important, and today's wisdom was so beautiful. When I heard maybe in last week, or where at the time you read that book, and I booked that book, and yesterday that book came, and I also started to read that book. And thank you, Shailaji, for that. And today's wisdom what was highlighted for me means the spiritual common sense. Yes, it's very important. When we go on in spirituality, we'll be stuck in some or other way, that this is right and this is wrong. This is in the highest perception, and all this, um, it's stuck in our way, and so it needs a spiritual common sense is very very important. And the one more sentence it was hit for me was, when we are more aware, the wisdom will be in 100% what I felt. And that wisdom is when we are not lost in thought or emotion, when we are not stuck in that emotion or thought or some ego, then the wisdom will be in the right path. And every moment we must give our 100% output. And that's also very important. And really, all lines, every word is so much to practice, and to be in that. And the don't rush, that's also very important. I always remember when that word come, that don't be in hurry, don't be in rush. When I started, um, when I entered in Beam family and I started for meditation, and I always remember Madhuji was telling, don't hurry and don't worry. And those words have changed me so much, and it has motivated me so much. Yes, really, for everything, we have to stop. For everything, maybe anything, maybe positive or negative, we have to stop. At that time, we can understand ourselves. Is that ego is coming? Is that emotion is coming? And so, this is also so important in our life. And maybe in small situations, it works a lot. And the expressions, and you told, you read that we may be right, but the wrong way and the wrong timings, that also becomes wrong. The whole situation becomes wrong. And so we must be so much aware. And the simplest way, what I think is, be simple and be happy always, be joyful. All the situations will be so nice, maybe anything. So, what I think is, be simple, be happy. Those words are I like always, and be surrender to the universe. Always, the divine will be helping us. And if we surrender for the universe, we can be um, in the right wisdom way, and our path will be so nice. And I want to read some sentences.
Yeah, Mamtaji.
Yeah. Miracles happen when you open up and say yes to life. Your life isn't meant to be clear cut and perfect. It will always be imperfect and messy, but that is part of what makes it so endearing. Matters of the heart aren't simple, and living in the thick of love is a courageous act. Be in being bold and feeling liberated. Appreciating life as it comes to you is a wonderful way to remain grounded in gratitude and joy. Thank you, universe. Thank you for the greatest wisdom. Thank you, masters. Thank you, Beam family. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mamtaji. Again, once again for the beautiful affirmations. So as when I was thinking like how to be like moment to moment, not in a reactive way. Again, it comes to the point like how much like meditation, especially meditation. It's a tool like which helps us to be in that in the present moment instead of oscillating in the past, future, or holding back or being emotional or whatever it is. So ultimately, again, the point is being mindful, and for that meditation is a great tool which helps us to be in the present moment. So I was just thinking how we can be like moment by moment. Is it really like a practical? So then from inside, that was the message or answer that I got. Like ultimately, again, it's pointing towards meditation. And the more we are conscious, the better we can handle the situation. Yeah. Thank you, masters. So let's close this session and join in our next one more wonderful session with the wisdom part. Thank you. And Vani ji, please unmute.
Namaste, madam. Namaste, masters. Uh, Thank you very much for beautiful meditation and wonderful wisdom. Just that's that's really true. Actually, when we meditate, we will be in the position where we could accept all situations. So we won't be proactive, even though there is no power of reasoning from the other person. And other thing is, if it comes to oneness also, actually when we feel that oneness, we don't feel like seeing the other person as separate one, since we think in, non-dual version. So actually, Fakir, actually, I heard a couple of chapters from Fakir book. They're really wonderful. Even when we read Sai Sacharitra also, apart from wish fulfillment, there is so much spirituality. When once we read it, we will indulge in different perspective basically. And this one is showing multiple dimensions in the aspect. That's what I feel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, Vani ji. Thank you. Yeah, the point which you told, it's really, I liked it about the oneness. Like when we have that feeling, like when we are in oneness, yes, we don't go into that reactive mode. That's a very good point. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you,
Ram Garu. I think you have raised your.
Yeah. So I just remembered wisdom that Patriji had shared, which I came across a couple of days ago. It was in line with today's topic of wisdom, so I thought of sharing. Shall I?
Yeah, sure.
So in his talk, he speaks about four eyes. Indeed, yesterday in our morning meditation, we went through that part. So he says there are four eyes, and the first eye is the physical eye. The second eye is the mind's eye. So first eye with which we see the outer realities, second eye with which we see the inner realities, which means our mind realities, the mind's eye. The third one is the third eye. The third eye, which is also called as the divine eye, which we see the non-physical realities. And the more we stay away from the first and the second, rather spend more time in the divine eye, which is ourself, our soul, and we move into the fourth eye. And the purpose of third eye is to move into the fourth eye. When we close the first eye, we move into the second eye. When we close the first and the second eye, we go into the third eye, which is the divine eye. That is why we have to close our physical eyes. We have to stop our mental activity, the mind's eye. Then we go to activate our third eye, the divine eye. And the essence of reaching the divine eye doesn't just stop there, but rather to move into the fourth eye, which is the wisdom eye. It is about awareness in every given moment of life, common sense. All the topic that we heard today is all about moving into the fourth eye. So whatever longer meditations that we do, we have to use that, or rather assist that into activating our fourth eye, the wisdom eye, the momentary awareness in our day-to-day way of living. So even if we become the greatest meditator, but we do not utilize that momentary consciousness, momentary awareness of having the greatest common sense in every given moment of time, we are stuck. We have not progressed, and we have not reached the ultimate eye, which is the wisdom eye, the fourth eye. So some people may not have, may not be meditators, but they're very, very great in terms of their common sense on a day-to-day and momentary-to-momentary basis, because they have reached their fourth level, which is the wisdom eye. They're the masters of the fourth eye. So it as well felt thought to share these, which falls into the sharings of today. It's a long wisdom he had shared, just a sense of it. Thanks a lot.
Wow, wonderful, Ram. Really, it's a wonderful thing that you told in a very easier way to understand. So it's all relating to the wisdom part again. Yeah, even yeah, I had this doubt. Like I had seen few people like who are not meditating, but they are like in the present moment, and they don't even in the worst situations or some tense situations also, they don't react much and handling the situation in a very calm way. I have seen such people. I had that really that question. Yeah, in spite of not into that meditation or anything, still maybe it's like past life they have practiced. I was thinking in that way. So what you're telling, it's linking to me now about the wisdom eye. Yeah. Thank you, Ram. Thank you. Such a beautiful way you told it. Thank you. Okay, thank you, masters. Have a nice day, and let's meet in the next session.